did last week is we had started, I guess we had sort of started. We had done emotions and feeling. And then we stopped at one point because we also finished up our food signs. And I'm thinking, if I'm correct, was we had stopped with proud, I believe. I think was one of the last ones, was proud of our emotions. Yeah, so I'm thinking that because that's what I was looking at, because I was looking at the list and I was like, the ones afterwards, I don't recall signing to you guys. So I was like, I think we stopped with proud. So we're going to finish up some of those. And then when we finish up our feelings, we're going to then move on to animals, which is always a fun one. So, okay. So the first word we're going to do is for feelings is going to be curious. So the sign for curious, what you're going to do is you're going to have like our 9 or our F, and you're going to have your 2, like your pointer and your thumb touch almost like the, excuse me, I'm so sorry, your voice box, and you're going to go curious. You're curious. Curious. Then we have confused. So for confused, it's confused. It's open. So like open C's kind of, and you're going to put them in a circle in front of you. It's almost like you're making like a cloud. Like, you know how if you're like, it doesn't make sense and it's just, you can't see through, you're not getting it. So confused. I'll sign that one again. I know it can be hard sometimes to see that one. Oh, wait, I'm not pinned. Let me pin myself real quick. That way y'all can see me better. Okay, am I bigger for everybody now? Okay, perfect. Okay, so then the next one is mean. So mean is, I'm gonna go very slow. Well, actually, let me sign it to you fast, normal pace first, and then I'll go slow so you guys can see where I'm going. Mean. So what you do is you have like 5s, open hands, and you're going to slowly turn them into thumbs or thumbs ups. Mean. Then our next one is rude. So the rude, that there's technically 2 ways. I'm trying to remember. The other one I don't see as often, and I can't fully sign it without making sure, like I'm not fully sure how they use it anymore, how it was signed, because I sign it differently and everyone else I know signs it this way. So it is, you're going to do a Y, your thumb's going to be on the opposite side of your mouth, and you're going to go rude. The other one is somewhere over here, but I want to make sure of it because that also can be a not nice word, and I'm not going to show it just in case. I don't want you guys saying, well, that was rude, and then they're like, that is not what you said, and then have an embarrassing situation. So we'll just do rude because that's what everyone I see does. It says rude. All right. Then we have nice. So nice is going to be nice. This is also the sign for like clean. So if you're talking about like, I need you to clean up, sometimes like it's that repeated motion. If you're saying something is very clean, like, wow, this is clean, like this is nice, you would do not, like this is clean. So I know there's like 3, and it's kind of like those 3 you have. It's nice, like it's nice, like she's very nice. Then you have like it's clean, and then clean, like clean up. That one I know can be a little confusing. All right. And then the next one, and then we'll go back. Excuse me. So the next one is smart. So smart is going to be your middle finger. It's going to be at the side of your forehead, and you go smart. And you stick it forward. Yeah. Smart. Smart. Okay. Let's go back through the ones we did. So we had curious. Then we had confused. And also remember when you are doing, remember keep your facial expressions kind of connected with what you're doing. So if you're saying like you're confused, you're not gonna be like, I'm confused. You're gonna be like, I'm confused. Like your eyebrows kind of go in, like, I'm like, what? Confused. And then we had mean, 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 mean. Then rude, rude, rude. And then nice, nice, or clean. Well, no, clean. Sorry, I'm using my my tones to try to like emphasize the difference. I'm like, okay, that's gonna confuse people when I mean like clean up the multiple times. Nice, and then nice. Like that's really nice looking. Okay. And then we had smart, 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 smart. All right. Then the next one
Hey, Jillian, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you use this for any kind of smart, like sarcastic smart, or do you know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't very smart of you.
So when you do stuff kind of like that, like it's kind of trying to think of a way of how I would say that. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll use my facial expressions to show. So like if I'm saying, oh, that was really smart, I'm like, that was really smart. And then I like make that face with it, like, And then if they're still not getting, I'll be like, no, it was not. It was not a smart idea. Like I'll straight up just say it was not smart. But like I usually use my facial expressions. Sometimes that's not always successful because, you know, they rely on the facial expressions to show more like what you're actually meaning. And so when your signs and your facial expressions conflict, especially when you're a hearing person, I feel like it comes off sometimes that you are miscommunicating, like you're misunderstanding it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So let's see. All right. Then we had cool. Okay, so back to my list. Sorry. The next one we have is cool. So this one is like saying like that person's cool. Like they're a cool person. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna have cool. Cool. And you're gonna have it kind of like at the corner of your mouth again, and you're gonna go cool. Cool. So you start kind of behind and go forward. Cool. Cool. That also can be if you're saying, well, that's cool. Like, oh, your library is very cool. Cool. All right. And then we have awkward. So the sign for awkward, which I don't know, I think this was one of the ones I thought was funny, and I learned it one of the few times early on, and I was like, I'll never forget this. Is you're gonna have 2 3s, and then you're gonna go awkward, awkward. Yeah. And with that perfect facial expression, Joseph, awkward. Ooh, that was awkward. My friends and I used to say awkward turtle all the time. I know y'all don't know what turtle is. We're about to learn it, but like, that's always what I think about when I do awkward is awkward turtle. And that was like our like joke sign we would sign to each other in class. We thought that was the funniest thing. Then we have strange. So strange is going to be that C, and you're going to go strange, strange. And you do it like in front of your face. Now this wouldn't be, if you're talking about a stranger, like a person you don't know, you wouldn't sign strange with it, because that's more talking about, well, that's a weird person, like that person's weird, that one, something like that, more that negative tone instead of just someone you don't know. So that stranger itself would be a different sign, but strange, like if you're saying that person's strange, strange. Then we have busy. And busy is going to be that B, and you're going to have it on top of, so you're going to have 2 B's, and you're going to have one on top of the other, and you're going to do the B back and forth. Busy. And this can be saying, well, she's a busy person. This is also for business. So business is there too. Business is more, I use busy as like you're going back and forth, like you just keep going. You're not sitting down, you're not calm, you're just going back and forth. And then business is that kind of like swoop motion. That makes sense. So busy, business. Then we have surprised. So surprise is going to be also, the sign for surprise is also the sign for wake up. Might add, just going to add that. You're going to have your 2 little like baby sharks. They're going to be next to your eyes, and you're going to go surprise, surprise. And I always have my eyebrows go with it, like, oh, surprise. Like I know I'm over exaggerating right now, but like a lot of times I'm like, oh, surprise. Surprise. That one's a fun one to do with little kids. I'm not going to lie. Because I just go, surprise. And they're just like, what? I don't know. I think it's funny. And then we have friendly. And then after this, we'll go back through the ones we've done. So friendly is going to be, you're going to have those your open hands and you're going to go friendly. You're going to wiggle your fingers like towards you. Friendly. Or like if you're being friendly, like towards them. So if you're trying to figure out the best way to describe it. If I was saying she's really friendly, she's friendly, but friendly. But if I was like saying she's friendly to you a lot, like she's been really friendly to you, I'd be like, she's friendly, like she's friendly to you, friendly, like towards them. Most of the time it's just you're saying she's friendly. Friendly. And then, oh, I said we go back. So we did, there we go. All right. So the last one we did was cool. 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 I always think like you're holding, like, you know, it's almost kind of like that pinching circle. Yeah. Cool. Cool. And then awkward. Awkward. Strange. 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 Busy. Busy. Surprised. Surprised. And then friendly. 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 Okay. So the last, making sure. Okay, good. There's only 5 more left, and then we'll move on to animals. Or no, 4. My bad. So disappointed. So disappointed is also. Which one did I miss, Joseph? Surprise. Yeah, like that one. Like if you're saying
I don't remember. It was something similar to busy.
Business.
When my mom wanted to say hi.
Hi. Business. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that one. So, like I said, busy back and forth, business. All right. The next one I said was disappointed. So disappointed is also kind of the same sign you use for miss, like I miss you, and it's disappointed. Disappointed. The difference between how you would know is facial expressions. So if like I'm saying I'm disappointed in you, I'm disappointed, you know, it's that kind of sad, like I'm not happy with that, or I was real disappointed we missed the party or something. But if you're saying like I missed you, like I missed you, I really missed you, it's that different conversation context. Like I said, my favorite word, I need to get a big sticker and put that somewhere and just say context, because that's all I feel like I say every class. It's just context. All right. The next one is helpful. And what you would do for that is you're going to assign the word for help, which is help. So if you were going to say she's helpful, you would point to her, or you would, no, I'll hold before I say that, because then I'll have to go on a whole other side story real quick. So I'm going to stay right here. Mind if I was saying she's helpful? She's helpful. She helps a lot. Helpful. Then we have loyal. Loyal is loyal. Loyal. It's like you start with an L and you make like a circle motion, and then you come across loyal. Loyal. And then the last one I have is lazy. And what you do for lazy is you go lazy. This is an L and you're tapping it. Yeah. That's why I was trying to emphasize loyal first. Loyal is a little more hard because it's like you're making that weird open circle motion. Loyal and then lazy. Okay. So let's go through our last 4 and then we'll move on to animals. Okay. So we had disappointed, disappointed, disappointed. And then helpful, helpful. Then loyal, loyal, loyal. And then lazy, lazy. Just think about with like lazy, like you can't even do the circle motion. Like you're just so lazy. You're just here. That's what I think of. I don't know. That's how it helped me learn. Okay. Now let's move on to some animals. Animals are very fun in my opinion. Okay. So the first sign we're going to learn for animals is the sign animal itself. And what you're going to do is you're going to have your kind of your open hands, your bent hands, but your thumbs are sticking out. You're going to put them again above your armpits. So you're not in your armpits, but you're above. And then you're going to flap them like they're bird wings, animals. This one's always a fun one when you're starting it because, like, I won't lie, you guys have always, like, everyone always like overemphasizes it. But when you start to sign it more, it's like it's animals. Like it's more like more smaller, but like more smaller. Wow, it's smaller. Sorry, that's just me signing all day. Just ruins my English. But it's smaller when you were having a conversation. But when learning it, everyone goes animals. Like you are going full, like you're about to flap those wings away. And I just think it's funny. I'm sorry, I did it too. So, all right. So the first animal we're gonna do is cat. So for cat, what you're going to do is you're going to have that 9 motion again, and you're going to start at the corner and you're going to go cat, cat. And this is like for its whiskers. This is like really for the more pet version of cat. So like, our normal cats. So, we call like tigers and lions big cats, but you wouldn't really call them big cats. I mean, I guess you could, but this is more just like the pet cats. Yes, Miss Katie. She remembered. That's also on my list, but it's further down. But I'm so glad you remembered that one. All right. Then our next one is fish. And there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it the full open hand like this or a pointer. And it's like we did with fish for the food. Fish. Fish. I realize I didn't say this, but it's okay. Like doing either way. I've seen both. Pointer or a whole hand. Fish. Then we have bird. So bird, again, is like our chicken from our food. It's bird. Bird. And then we had our duck. Did I put that further down? Okay, no, it's further down. Well, I'll put it here because it makes sense. We had our duck, yeah, with our bill. Is it me, or do you guys, every time you do that, hear the word quack, quack in your head? Because I don't know, every time I do it, I hear quack, quack, but in a very nasally tone with it. I think I'm just too used to like being around like teenagers who thought it was funny just to go quack, quack all the time. But every time, that's all I hear in my head when I do a duck. And it makes me giggle. And then my kids think I'm crazy because I'm laughing at nothing. So, all right, the next one is eagle. And so eagle is going to be that X. And then you're going to have it on your nose. Eagle. Eagle. So it's like for the big, big beak. Eagle. Then we have snake. So snake is going to have a V bent into like 2 X's. And you're going to start with like the back of your hand. It's almost like you're kissing the back of your hand. And then you go with the little, making like an S shape. Snake. 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 Then we have rat or mouse, and it's rat. Rat. You just kind of have your finger go across your nose. Rat or no or mouse. Sorry, mouse. Yeah, I feel like that one there should be 2 differences, because if I said, "Oh my gosh, there's a rat in my house," like I'd be more like, "Ugh," but like if it's a mouse, I don't know. I always felt like there's very big differences between the 2 when there's really not, but they're both the sign for this.
Jillian, I have a question. With snake, is there a way to sign this is venomous, this is not venomous, or dangerous, or not? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you need to dig it across.
Yes. I think it would be, you would use this sign for like poisonous, which is like, I'll check on this one. The reason I do is because, so bones is you have like the 2 X's and you have them across each other, and that's bones. That's also like skeleton. I feel like if you, and I'm pretty sure you would do snake, and you would make that like this, it's poisonous. I'll double check on that, but I feel like I've seen that before. So that's why I was like, I want to say it's this, but I also don't want to be like, oh, it's that. And then someone's like, you're talking about a snake skeleton or something. Let me put that on my list before I forget. But yes, I think that was how it was. I think that's how it was signed. Okay, there we go. Good question. Okay. For rodent, yes, I think it would be pretty much if you're talking about the generic just types of rodents. Now, if you're talking about, well, because rodents is actually a lot broader than I would think. Because isn't technically, no, don't judge me, okay? When I do this, I have to question, I have to check on things. I'm not the science major, I'm the math teacher, okay? Isn't a guinea pig, wouldn't that be identified as a rodent? Or is that, oh, we're getting, this is a complicated question. Okay, so everyone else is not so sure, I'm glad. Basically, if you're talking about just like the generic like rats and mice, I would say yes, this is it. But if you're talking about like gerbils and hamsters and those sort of rodents, I would finger spell just to say for bet, just to make sure they know which one you're talking about. Because if you're just saying like, oh, they're just rodents, my favorite kind of animals are rodents or something, then I think it'd be okay. But like if you're talking about, no, I love hamsters, I would not say I love rodents. Like I would not say I love mice. I would finger spell hamsters. They don't, at least I have not seen a sign for them. So I hope that answered the question, but you made me get a little more sciencey over here. And I'm sitting there going, where would you classify them? But yeah. Okay. Excuse me. So then let's go back through the ones we've done. We started with our animal. So animals. And I will say, because I don't think I've talked about this before, when you're talking about multiples, like more than one, you know, we add that S at the end, adding it. You don't really, there's no change to the sign. So I'm talking about an animal, I'm talking about animals, they're both the same. It would be including numbers or the sign for many if you're talking about a specific amount. So yeah, sorry, yes. I try to be a little bit better professional. All right, the next one we had was cat. And then we had fish or fish. Then we had bird, and then duck. Then eagle. Excuse me. We had snake. And then we had our rat. Excuse me, my goodness. Sorry, I have like the hiccups coming on all of a sudden. All right. The next one I have is dog. So for dog, I'm gonna stand a little bit just to try to see if I can show it. This was probably the most awkward one for me to ever try to sign because it's hard to see. But what you do is you're gonna pat your leg and come into a snap. Dog. Dog. Another one that people do that's more like a simpler one is they go dog. It's like you have your your middle finger, and you bounce it on your thumb. Dog. Dog. Then we have lizard. So lizard is going to be, you're going to have your non-dominant arm across. Your dominant hand is going to be in an L, and you're going to have the L shimmy up your arm like it would, like a lizard crawling on a tree. Lizard. I think that one's fun. I don't know. I like that one. I'm a little biased. Then the next one we have is bug. So for bug, what you're going to do is you're going to have a 3. Your thumb is going to be on your nose, and you're going to bounce your fingers back and forth. Bug. Now this one's like, again, more of a basic, you can use this one for pretty much all kinds of bugs. There are a few here and there that are like specific, like for example, bee. I've seen people do bee. It's like you have the F, like the F that pinches and then slap, I guess, for it stinging you and it hurting. But there's bee, but if you also did bug itself, that's not like, it's still the same sort of thing. There's just a few here and there that can have a little bit of specifics. And even then, I don't always sign bee. I always forget because I learned just bug itself. And if I'm trying to talk about the type of bug it was, like a bee, I would just go bee. But either way works with that. The next one we have is spider. So that one does have its own. And you're going to have your hands on top of each other and then wiggle your fingers. Spider. So it's like you have an actual spider making the spider. This one's always a fun one. I'm not going to lie again. I feel like I'm biased towards all the animal ones because I think they're cute and they're fun. And this one, if you do, I have, I've told you, I have 4 girl students, very much girly girls. They do not like bugs, and they don't like spiders. And sometimes when they just come up and they're like, oh, there's a bug. I'm like, do you see the spider? And they're like, oh, no. And then they like bolt when we're at recess and they're playing. They're like, ah. And it's just always funny when I go spider towards them because they're like, no, Miss Jillian. And then they run and they think it's funny. They are laughing as they do it. And they'll come up to me and they'll just kind of like, sometimes they sit there and they're waiting. They'll go, bug. I'm like, a spider. And then they run away. They think it's a game. So I don't know. I just think that one's fun to like have it actually like crawl. It's just funny to me. All right. The next one I have is turtle, which I showed earlier. And it's going to be a thumbs up. Your hand is in that kind of curve and it's going to cup it. So it's like the turtle shell. And then you wiggle your little turtle's head. Turtle. This would also be for like tortoise. I will say that. I know there's differences. If you really needed to emphasize that it's a tortoise versus a turtle, I would fingerspell them just to kind of help. But all in all, if you're just talking about, oh, I like turtles, or, I like tortoises, I like, it's not having to be, well, I guess you would if you were saying I like tortoises. I typically just say all turtles when I'm saying stuff like that. But you know what I mean. More specific you want to get, you fingerspell just to help it. Then the next one we have is tiger. So tiger is going to be, you're going to have open-handed, like you're going to have 5 slightly bent fingers, and you're going to go tiger. And it's like the stripes on your face. Tiger. Then we have lion. Lion is going to be that again, sort of open hand 5 with the fingers bent, and you're going to go lion. And you go over your head. It's like the lion's mane. Lion. And then we have bear. Bear again is going to have those slightly open-handed fingers, and you're going to go bear. Bear. Okay, let's go back through what we've done. We did dog. I almost said, what did I say? I almost said something else, and I was like, that's not it. Dog. So dog is either pat, hand, and then you kind of pat and snap, or dog. Then we have lizard. Then bug. I'll add this one since I said it. Bee. Then spider. Then turtle. Then tiger. Lion. And then bear. Ow, sorry, I hit my table. Bear. I will say it was a lot of fun taking my students to the zoo. I've never taken because I had older kids. I had 6th grade last year, and we could go to the zoo, but it's a whole different thing when you go with 3rd graders. And I have one whose favorite animal is a lion. And she just goes wild, and she went wild, and she kept going, lion. I mean, really fast. I was surprised she didn't accidentally bump herself in the forehead because she did it so fast. And it was always it was a very fun experience to see them just all crazy going, tigers. And oh man, little kid signs are fun to me. They're cute is what I mean. They're so cute because they get so into it. All right. The next one we have is cow, which I think we did with our food at one point, which is cow. Cow. Or you can do the one-handed cow. Cow. Then we have horse. So horse is going to be the two fingers together, thumb at the top, and you're going to bounce it like the ears. You can also do it with both, like two. I do see more just one-handed horse. Then we have monkey. So monkey is going to be monkey. It's basically what we do when we try to show, oh yeah, monkey. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, same thing. Then we have giraffe. Giraffe. So giraffe's going to have that open C. You're going to start kind of at the base, and you want to kind of have your head tilted up, and then you go giraffe. And it's like you're just emphasizing the long neck. It just keeps going. Giraffe. Oh, excuse me. Then we have elephant, and it's elephant. You start at the top, and then you make your little trunk. Elephant. Then we have turkey, and it's going to be that Q or that G kind of punch. Put it under your chin. Turkey. Turkey. Then we have pig. Pig, which we also did with our food. Pig. And then zebra. Zebra is going to be zebra. Like you have a 4, and you're going to make the stripes across zebra. This is also the sign for like stripes itself. So if I was talking about like one of my favorite animals is zebra, that's when I would have that added there. All right, let's go. No, we can do a few more. I try not to add so many when we review. I've done in the past where I have like 10 or 15 words and I'm like, oh yeah, let's review it real quick. And everyone's like, okay, so that's what I'm trying to add more, chunking it better. All right, the next one I had was gorilla, and it's gorilla. Gorilla. If you're talking about any kind of apes, like just the general apes, I would use the monkey sign still. I feel like orangutans, I saw there was one once, but I have not seen it often. I've just seen monkeys still. So, all right, let's now go through these. So we had cow, cow, cow. Then horse, horse, horse. Then monkey, monkey. Then giraffe, giraffe. Then elephant, elephant. Turkey, turkey. Pig, pig. Zebra, zebra. And then gorilla, gorilla. Okay, now the next one we have is dolphin. So dolphin is going to be, you're going to have your non-dominant arm across. And there are 2 ways you can do it. I'm going to show you one that I think it helps a little more sense, and I'll show you the other one. And this is the one I do. So you're going to have, again, those 3 fingers, the 2 together, and you're going to go dolphin. Dolphin. The other one is you have your fingers crossed and you do it. Dolphin. Dolphin. So it's bouncing that back and forth. Yeah. Dolphin. The next one we have is shark. So there are 2 ways to sign shark. The first one is you're going to go, so you're going to do like your Spock. And then you're going to put your B between it. And it's a shark. It's like the dorsal fin in the water. The other one is going to be a B, and you're going to go at the very top of your head and bounce it. Yeah, shark. And you want to make sure you're like really up top. Yeah. Shark. Then we have whale. And a whale, for whale, you're going to have that Y. Non-dominant, again, that same position we had for dolphin. You're going to start at your arm. So I'm like, I'm touching it. And then you're going to go whale. And it's like the tail slapping the water as it moves. Whale. All right. The next one we have is frog. And that's going to be, so you're going to have the 2 fingers. You're going to go under and you're going to flick them out. Frog. 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 Our next one we have is alligator / crocodile. And what you're going to do is you're going to do what we have always done since we were kids. Alligator. All right. Then the next one we have is penguin. Penguin's real cute. You're going to have your hands kind of, so like at the bottom of my hips, they're sticking out kind of splayed like this. And you just waddle. Penguin. Then, let's see how far. Okay, yeah. Then we have bat. So bat is going to be 2 X's. And you're going to cross them. Bat. And it's like how it, when they wrap up in their wings. Bat. Then we have rabbit. So rabbit's going to be, again, the 2 fingers together. You're going to have your thumbs together. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes there's no thumbs, but I sometimes leave them on accident, or not on accident, but I leave them. And you bring your fingers together, or you can have them off. I'm trying to remember how. I'm sorry. I'm staring at it going, how do I do it? I do it this way. And you're going to have the 2 fingers bouncing. And it's like kind of like the whiskers again. Rabbit. Then we have butterfly, which is now your whole hand, and it's butterfly. Butterfly. All right. Let's go back through what we've done. So we had dolphin. Dolphin. And then we had shark. Shark or shark. And make sure to go really on top of your head when you do that one. Shark. Then we have whale. Whale. Then frog. 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 And then alligator. Alligator. And then penguin. Penguin. Bat. Bat. Rabbit. Rabbit. Or bunny. And then butterfly. Butterfly. Okay. We are coming towards the end. I know it feels like there's like so many different types of animals there are. All right. The next one we have is kangaroo. And so kangaroo is going to be kangaroo. Kangaroo. It's like you're hopping it. Yeah. Kangaroo. Then we have, there we go. Sorry, my chair was really far and I could feel myself just being like, I feel like I'm really far away. Owl, and that's owl with the O's, owl. Owl. We have moose and deer. So let's do deer first. So deer is deer. Deer. Wait, I'm sorry. So one is deer and one is moose, where you bounce it out. And I'm trying to remember which one's which. I always flip them on accident. Pretty sure this one's deer, this one's moose. I'm going to double check that once again. I feel like I had to do that last time because those two they flip because they're so easy. One's just
I'm going to go way out on a limb and say you're right.
Okay.
That totally makes sense. This would be deer, and then moose would be like,
yeah, yeah, because moose have their horns are so much bigger, and you have deer right here and moose. That's what I believe it is. My brain just wants to be like, are you sure? Is that really it? And since we don't talk about moose as much as we talk about deers. But like we talk about deer, and I do this.
Oh, we don't talk about kangaroos, but we got a sign for a kangaroo.
Kangaroos are fun. Kangaroos are cute. Come on. You haven't seen a first grader go kangaroo before.
You're right. They're totally cute. They're very specific.
Yes, that is true. I know there are some where it's like, we should probably have a sign for that one and not this, but that is not how it goes sometimes. I'm like, interesting. All right. Then we have our deer, and then we have our moose. And then we have wolf. So wolf is going to be wolf. 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 And you want to make sure you don't go down, because if you go
That's a good
down,
one.
Yeah. If you go down, this is sleep. But you got wolf. Wolf. I always think this one's fun again because it's like the big old snout. And I just think about the big bad wolf. I don't know, because like all the children's books I remember reading, like the snout was just ridiculously long. So wolf. Fun fact, I'll add this one here just because I think it's a fun one. If you were talking about a werewolf, you would actually do it how, you know, like old movies called Wolfman. And you'd go wolf and then man. So wolf man. The next one we have is fox. And so it's going to be an F and you're going to have your nose in the little hole and you're going to go fox. Then we have raccoon. And it's going to be, so it's almost like you're going like your piece. And for those, if you remember when we used to go like this all the time in our pictures, you're going to do that and you're going to close them. Raccoon. Good. All right. The next one we have is goat. And so this one's a little interesting to do. What you're going to do is you're going to start here. Well, goat. You like flick your fingers up at your chin and your forehead. Goat. Sometimes some people don't flick it at the chin and they just go to the forehead. But I'll do both on occasion. Goat. And it's just to mean that the chin has the hairs at the end of the chin and then the horns at the top. Goat. Then we have sheep. So sheep is going to be, you're going to have your non-dominant arm and you're going to go sheep. And it's like you're cutting the wool off. Sheep. I think. No, that one's like for fixing. Sorry, I was sitting there thinking sheep. Then we have octopus. So this one I was having a discussion with a coworker a couple of weeks ago because octopus and squid, what would be the difference? And because I've always done octopus and squid with the two fingers or having it below, like having it facing down. I do either way. And they said what they've done and seen is when they're trying to assign it is they do squid, just squid, like squid itself, like it's moving sideways. And then octopus with a little ball on its head. Octopus. I'm trying to remember which way I do it. Octopus. So it's like you have a little, like the head of the octopus, and then your fingers are moving that motion. Octopus. Jellyfish is I think jellyfish is similar to this one. I'll check on that one again. I'll check on that one. That's what I meant. Excuse me. Because I always do just very much that for all mine, which I shouldn't, but I do. And then I finger spell them. And that's also me trying to teach my kids how to finger spell words as well. So that's probably why. The next one I have is a fun one. Well, no, let's do this one and then we'll do my last two, because these are my last two. One is just normal and then the other one's a fun one. So the next one is squirrel / chipmunk. And it's, you're gonna have your two V's turn to X's and then you have them, chipmunk or squirrel. Okay, now the final one, and then we'll review because I think we went through a good amount this time, is dragon. So dragon is going to be dragon, because of all the flames coming out. Dragon. So spicy can be spicy like the flames or spicy. Remember, it was like coming towards like hot, it's so hot. Either way, but yes. Well, because if you think about it, you know, in cartoons, when we see spicy, when someone eats something hot, like a pepper, they start just like spewing flames like a dragon. So that's what I think of when I think of spicy. For beaver, I've not seen a sign for beaver, actually. I would have just finger spelled beaver. Sometimes the more specific you go, the less common there is a sign, or there's not a sign. Like I said, every region can have its own. So like if in an area where there's more beavers, they might have a local one. Oh, yes. Want and need. Oh man, I completely forgot. Here, let's go through the ones we did, and then I'll do want and need because I think those are very important to have. So we continue. There we go. Kangaroo. So we had our kangaroo. Kangaroo. Owl. Owl. Moose. Moose. And then deer. Deer. This is also reindeer. Also reindeer. Deer and reindeer are the same. Then we have wolf. Wolf. And then we had our wolf man. Have to add our wolf man in. I thought that one was fun. Then we had fox. 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 Raccoon. Raccoon. Goat. 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 Sheep. 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 Squid. Squid. And then our octopus. Octopus. Squirrel / chipmunk. Squirrel, chipmunk. And then our dragon. 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 Okay, so those are our animal words. What I'll do is, you guys, if you could think of any kind of other animals, I will say not specific. The reason is because the more specific you go, the less likely you probably don't have one. Any animals you can think of that we didn't go over. So you can type those in. I'm going to real quick also show you guys want and need while you guys think for that. So the first one, want. What you're going to do is you're going to have your open hands kind of in that open 5 again, near want. So you kind of, you have them out and they curve into this kind of motion. Want. If you don't want something, there are 2 ways you can do it. You can go don't want, like you throw it away, like you want it and then you throw it away because you don't want it. And then the other one is you go not. It's like your thumb under your chin, not want. Either way works. Don't want, not want. The next one is need. So if I was saying I need something, I would go need. It's like that X and you tap it, need. This one's also like for must and should. The difference with must is that, like I'm saying, well, I must go. I have to go. Must. Like I do it one time. But if I'm saying like I need to go to the store, I need to go to the store. Like I bounce it a couple times, need. So I must need. If I was saying I don't need, I would go not need. I don't need. Don't need. This one's your go-to for really saying like I don't want it, I don't need it, I don't like it. I don't think we've done like. Let me add like here since we're doing those kinds. Like is going to be so you're going to start with your thumb and your middle finger touching your chest, and then you're going to pull it out like. I like. Like. And I always end them with them together. So it's like I start and then they come together like. So if you're saying you don't like, you would go not like, or you would go like, throw it away. I don't like. Or not like. Either way works. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left. Is there any others that animals you can think of? I know beavers are less specific than kangaroo. Hyena. That's a good one. I have not seen one for that. I will check. My brain wants to go laughing dog, but I will double check on that one. A vulture. Oh, that one's a good one. See, this is why I always ask, because there are people who are sit there and they go, I know one. I think for vulture, you would just do bird and then you would finger spell vulture, but I will ask and check. So we have hyena, vulture. We did eagle. So we had our little hook eagle. Crow, a hawk. I've not seen one. Normally I just see bird and then hawk or crow, but I can always, I mean, like I said, I have a good amount of coworkers who are from different regions. Just curious. I'm always asking. I'm like, what's the sign for this? How would you say this? Because I like to learn, like, I think it's cool learning about different ones that people sign. Now, cephalopods is not going to have a sign. It's going to be finger spelled, unfortunately, sir. Yes. Well, and we have, my parents' house has a lot of crows, but they're mixed. They have a lot of birds, like all kinds of birds. They've started to become people where they sit at the table and they watch birds. They're bird watchers now. And I'm like, interesting. And I'm not used to it. Like, I'm not used to hearing the birds because there's birds here in my house, but like our neighbors are so close, but like it's not as loud as it is at their house. What was it? Crow, hawk. There we go. All righty. We did our cow. So we had our cow. I'm trying to think if there's any others. There's always an animal that I, don't think of or I haven't thought of before. So that's why I'm always like, give me the ones you know. Scorpions. That's a good one. I've seen one for it. I cannot remember what it was. Again, it just, type of ones you see often. So a service animal, the way you would do that, scorpions, adding that there, is you would do the sign for service. So the sign for service is you kind of have the open hand and you go service dog. You can also do a help dog, like a helpful dog. Or yeah, I guess the main one is a dog, a service animal. Otter has one, and I'm trying to remember what it is. When we went to the zoo, we saw otters, and I cannot believe I just forgot it. Again, not one we talk about often. And because I was asking, like my students were like freaking out. I was like, I've not seen that animal sign before. And I know they are so cute. And when you have little kids who are just so excited to see an otter and it's swimming, it gets to you. But I know I'm biased as a teacher. I'm biased. Let's see. So for panda, panda had one. There's something to do with the bear, but I add another sign to it. I'll check that one as well. I know. I feel like I know it's a lot of me saying, well, I'll check on this one. It's because a lot of times they can be just finger spelled or there is an actual sign. And I always say, I've been signing since my junior year of high school, so like eight years now, but there are still words that I'm always learning, or like that there wasn't a sign for, but now there is a sign for it. It's like how, new English words come in and, stuff like that. So it's things like that. And that's why it's like, well, I may not know, I'm not going to know every word in ASL because I'm not going to know every word in English, so that's why I always like to say is that as I'm like, yes, here's signs and I've used these, there are always ones I'm like, what, I've not seen that, or I don't really know, or I have seen and I've forgotten, which we do in English as well. So yes, I agree with you, Miss Katie. We always be learning words and signs. I cannot speak, but yes. All righty. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so it is now 6:30. So I will let you guys go. I think is next week our last class. Okay, so for next week, what we're going to do is next week's kind of a big one because we're going to do the different types of jobs. And then we're going to do a couple of just basic words that would be good to know. There's not really a good group label, but we're going to do a couple of those and it's a lot. I will say now. Also, we do sports with it. Let's see what else. I think that's it. So, but it's a lot of words. So fair warning, you guys, but I think it's like a good end of the class, and you always, like I said, you have the videos, so you can always go back and look at them again. So, all righty. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of y'all's week, and I will see you guys all next Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.